Please welcome this week's special guest, Michael. So, Hugh, what is Michael to you?
This is Michael. He once tried to sell the remains of my lunch for £100.
Warwick, how do you know Michael?
This is my neighbour Michael, and I first met him when his shot put came over my garden fence.
Finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Michael?
This is Michael, and last summer I threw his phone in a boating lake.
So there we have it. Is Michael Hugh's snack seller, Warwick's shot-put slinger, or Lee's phoneless friend? David's team, where do you want to start?
Well, shall we start with Hugh? What was this lunch and where were you having it?
It was in the cafe in Cornwall.
Oh, right.
That Michael used to run. And I had, well, I had a sandwich, I think. Now, I knew nothing about this selling of my lunch until much later. Well, I was told by a friend that, in fact, what had happened was that Michael had set up this thing in the cafe called the Museum of Celebrity Leftovers.
Sounds like the name of this show.
As far as I remember, it was a sort of little jar with the leftover of the particular person. Sort of like a specimen bottle.
It wasn't like a proper leftover. It was just essentially crumbs.
It was crumbs, then put into a glass. No, it wasn't just me, it was various celebrities.
Who are the other celebrities that featured?
Jan Leeming.
I'll tell you what, at the moment, you are the best.
Yeah.
Michael Winner, I think, was there.
Oh, right.
And Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
Do you know what Prince Charles had left?
I think it was bread and butter pudding.
How much did it go for in the end?
I don't know.
Surely you know how much your own memorabilia...
The only bit of memorabilia I do know about is on eBay, my autograph, £1.35.
On a £5 note, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who would you like to ask next?
So, Warwick, Michael is your next-door neighbour.
Yes.
What does Michael do for a living that he can afford to live next to you?
So he's a very successful businessman.
And so the shot put is just a hobby for him?
Well, it was something he used to do in his younger days. He was in the army and they used to have a sort of sporting event, and the shot put was his particular speciality.
So, yeah, describe the incident.
OK, I've got quite a large garden. I was having a walk round. I was on a 2-day expedition. And I just heard I heard this sort of thudding sound, and you could almost feel the ground sort of vibrate a little bit. And I thought, what on earth was that? And looked around, and behind me was what I thought at the time was a cannonball. Made a big divot in my lawn.
You thought you were under fire from a medieval army?
Yeah, well, I didn't know what had happened. And your instinct is to look up, you know. I don't know what I was expecting to see, but I looked around and I heard this little voice, so, sorry, and looked towards the fence, and Michael looking over. And
if you'd have had any sense, you'd have got it next to your head, lay down like that. Where there's blame, there's a claim.
May I approach Michael?
You may approach Michael.
OK, so, like, one of my many talents is that I can spot wealth in a man.
And yet, when I do this to women...
So, do you, from your inspection, Catherine, do you think that Michael is sufficiently affluent to live next door to Warwick?
Where do you think Warwick lives? In Graceland or something? He's been in a few films, with no disrespect. I doubt it's like Simon Cowell's house. What about Lee?
Lee.
Yes.
You threw Michael's phone in a lake.
See? He agrees. It's true.
Why did you throw his phone in a lake?
Because I I was trying to give him his phone back.
And he was in a boat?
No.
On the lake?
I was in the boat.
Do you know Michael?
No.
How did you know it was his phone?
Because he was shouting at me from the bank. Not
Throw
the bank. I don't mean he was drawing money out. I mean
He
the
was
side.
He was saying, throw me my phone
He was saying-
across the water to somebody he'd never seen before and
No,
who's
he didn't
throwing
say...
quantities he didn't know.
This is what I heard at the time. Excuse me. I think your boat. What? He said, I think in your boat. It's like, you're miles away. And he said, my telephone in your boat. And I thought it's an unusual way to talk, because I was shaking his hand at the time. Eventually I work out he's saying, my phone is in your boat. So I sort of look around, and sure enough, under my seat was a phone.
But why didn't he just wait until you reached the shore?
Which is what he wanted to do, what he wanted to happen. But I, being a bit more confident in my throwing abilities than I should be, thought, well, I'll go, I'll row towards him a bit. And I went like that, and I just did the worst throw I've ever done. And it just went straight into the water.
Do you know Michael's surname?
I don't know.
How did you get onto him to invite him onto the programme?
Oh, I think you'll find that I don't deal with the admin.
But it seems to me not absolutely impossible that the admin people would have said, that's an interesting story,
Yes.
Lee. What's Michael's other name so that we
Well,
can
you
get
haven't
him...
heard the rest of the story, have you? Because I felt guilty, and so I decided to buy him a new phone. And so I said, give me your number, because obviously, his home number, and I will phone you when I've got the other phone for you, and I'll deliver it. So when the people working on this show heard the story and said, cool, blimey, that's quite fascinating. I don't suppose you know his surname, do you? I said, I don't, but I've got his number right here. I said, great, chuck it over. Well, I threw it. It went straight out the window, landed in a puddle.
We need an answer. So, David's team, is Michael Hugh's snack seller, Warwick's shot-put slinger, or Lee's phoneless friend?
Well, Hugh's story, I don't think Hugh was even trying to make his story that believable. And so there's a chance that it's a fiendish double bluff, and that means it's true.
I love the idea of a celebrity leftover museum.
But it sounds... What, do you?
I mean, I've been to Cornwall, and it sounds like it could be quite an attraction.
Warwick's story, that could be true. Michael, he looks like a shot putter.
I mean, he wouldn't put it over somebody else's fence, would he?
So what are you saying? You think it's Lee?
Catherine, which way are you leaning?
I feel like the shot put story is real, and that is because Warwick looked up to Michael a lot. I feel like they have a certain intimacy.
Then again, it could be on the boating lake, the phone mishap.
It is.
I feel like a more likely admin story as to why Michael is here after Lee throwing his phone off the boat is perhaps Michael got on social media and was like, Lee Mack threw my phone into a lake, and the show reached out that way.
I don't want to stereotype, but to me, Michael looks more like someone who threw a shot put in the army a few years ago than someone who's massive on social media.
So what's it going to be?
We're going to go with Warwick.
Warwick. OK, Michael, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Michael, and I did try to sell the remains of the lunch.
Thank you very much, Michael.